You want your own place, not your parents' house, not four roommates and a mystery smell in the kitchen. Your place. And then you look at rent. $1,800 a month for walls you don't even own. It feels like lighting money on fire. Meanwhile, your uncle says, renting is throwing money away. Just buy. Cool. With what? Vibes? So here's the real question. Is renting actually a scam, or do people just misunderstand how housing economics works? Today, we're breaking down renting versus buying. No real estate guru hype. No just hustle harder. Just how it actually works. And we're going to use one running example the whole time. A normal $2,000 per month apartment. Let's go. The emotional trap. First, let's admit something. Owning feels powerful. You picture keys in your hand, your name on the deed, no landlord emails, painting the walls black if you want. Renting feels temporary, like you're stuck in side quest mode. That emotional difference is real, but emotions don't explain economics. Housing decisions are mostly about cash flow, risk, flexibility, and opportunity cost. We'll define all of that in plain English. Okay, moving on. What rent actually buys? When you pay $2,000 in rent, what are you actually buying? You're buying a place to live, maintenance included, flexibility, and predictable costs. Rent is a service, like Netflix, but instead of movies, it's shelter. You're paying for access, not ownership. The landlord owns the building. You're renting the usage rights. And here's the key. You are not responsible for the roof or the plumbing or the HVAC dying mid-summer. That matters because ownership means you own the problems too. Cool. Keep that in mind. What buying actually is. Buying isn't just, I live here and win. Buying is a large upfront down payment, a mortgage, a long-term loan to buy property, interest payments, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and risk. A mortgage is just a loan secured by the house. If you stop paying, the bank takes the house. Simple. Now let's compare our $2,000 rent example. If that same apartment were a condo, buying it might require a down payment, monthly mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, HOA fees, and repairs. Your monthly housing cost might be similar or higher. And early in a mortgage, most of your payment goes to interest, not ownership. That surprises people. Okay, now it gets interesting. Throwing money away. The classic line, renting is throwing money away. Sounds smart, but let's slow down. When you buy, part of your mortgage builds equity. Equity is the portion of the home you actually own. But part of your mortgage is interest. Interest is absolutely money you never see again. Plus, property taxes? Gone. Insurance? Gone. Maintenance? Gone. If your $2,000 rent feels wasted, what about $1,200 in mortgage interest, $300 in taxes, and $400 in maintenance? Ownership has throwaway money too. It's just disguised better. Okay, now we need to talk about time. This is huge. Buying usually only makes financial sense if you stay put long enough. Why? Because buying has high transaction costs. Transaction costs equal the fees to buy and sell. When you buy, closing costs, inspections, lender fees. When you sell, real estate agent commissions, more closing costs. These can add up to thousands. If you buy and move again in 2 years, those costs can wipe out any appreciation. Appreciation means property value going up. Housing tends to rise over long periods historically in many markets, but not evenly and not guaranteed. Short term, it can go sideways or down. Renting is better for short-term flexibility. Buying rewards patience. Okay, next, flexibility. Let's say your $2,000 apartment is near your job. Then you get a better job offer in another city. If you rent, you wait for your lease to end or pay a fee, then leave. If you own, you either sell, which takes time and money, rent it out, which makes you a landlord, or turn down the opportunity. Ownership reduces mobility. That's not good or bad, it's just real. In your 20s especially, flexibility is extremely valuable. Careers change, cities change, relationships change. Renting makes change easier. Okay, now let's talk about risk. When you rent, your risk is limited. Worst case, your rent goes up, you move. When you own, you're exposed to market downturns, major repairs, property value drops. If the market drops and you need to sell, you could lose money. Homes are not guaranteed investments. They are leveraged assets. Leveraged means you're using borrowed money to control a big asset. Leverage magnifies gains. It also magnifies losses. That's powerful and risky. Cool. Now the big concept, opportunity cost. This is the part most people ignore. Opportunity cost equals what you give up by choosing one option over another. If buying requires $40,000 down payment and higher monthly costs, that money could have been invested elsewhere. Stocks, a business, retirement accounts. Historically, diversified stock markets have grown over long periods, not every year, but over decades. If you rent the $2,000 apartment and invest the difference consistently, that can compound. Compounding is earning returns on your returns. Over time, that's powerful. The question isn't, is rent wasted? The question is, what else could that money be doing? Okay, now let's zoom out. Housing is consumption first. This is important. A primary residence is primarily consumption. Consumption means something you use and enjoy. It's not purely an investment. Yes, homes can appreciate, but you also live in them, wear them down, maintain them, and pay to operate them. It's not like owning a stock that just sits there. Housing provides lifestyle, space, stability, control. Those are real benefits, but they aren't free. Okay, let's compare scenarios. Scenario A, renting. You pay $2,000 per month. No surprise roof bills, no lawn care. You invest separately. You can move for career growth. Your costs are predictable. You don't build home equity, but you may build financial assets elsewhere. Simple. Scenario B, buying. You put money down, you lock into a mortgage. Part of each payment builds equity. You're exposed to market movements. You gain stability. You lose flexibility. You handle repairs. If property values rise over time and you stay long-term, you may benefit. If not, maybe not. It depends heavily on price, interest rate, how long you stay, local market, and what you do with the alternative money. There's no universal answer. Anyone who says always rent or always buy is oversimplifying. Okay, let's talk psychology again. The status effect. Owning signals adulthood, stability, success. Renting feels like not there yet. But that's cultural. In many countries, long-term renting is normal. Financially strong people rent all the time, especially in expensive cities where buying doesn't make sense mathematically. Don't confuse status with strategy. Your $2,000 apartment doesn't care about your ego. Okay, now the trap. The house poor trap. You stretch to buy. Big mortgage, minimal savings. Now most of your income goes to housing. You're house poor. That means you own a house, but you're stressed. No investing, no emergency buffer, no flexibility. That's dangerous. Housing should not eliminate your ability to build other assets. Okay, let's simplify this whole thing. The real question. Buying makes more sense when you plan to stay long-term. You have stable income, you have emergency savings, the numbers work in your market, you value stability highly. Renting makes more sense when you want flexibility. You may move soon, you're early in your career, buying would stretch you thin, you have better uses for your capital. It's not about pride, it's about math and lifestyle. Your $2,000 apartment is either a flexible tool or a stepping stone, not a scam. Rapid recap. Rent is paying for a service. Buying is taking on a leveraged asset. Mortgages include interest. Ownership includes taxes and repairs. Buying has high transaction costs. Renting offers flexibility.